Hi there, and welcome to Module 8, the last module of the course. Woohoo! I just want to go over a couple of things. There were only two written assignments, I guess really not written, two graded assignments for this last module. One is going to be a Think and Ink that is going to cover the Langston Hughes poems from the course. And then the very last thing that you will do in this course is take the final exam. I want to caution you to make sure that you are paying attention to the due dates for this term. Those are very strict due dates. There is very little leniency because you've had entire 8 weeks to do all of the different modules at your own pace. But once we get to the end of the course, there isn't any more leniency outside of the course due dates, because when the term is over, the course is over. So please do keep that in mind. Make sure that you're looking at the announcements and the messages that come through from me regarding those dates, because they cannot be extended beyond the date that all of the written assignments are due, and then the date that the final exam is due. So please, please, please pay special attention to the dates. So let's take a couple look at these things. So this week we are looking at several selections from Langston Hughes. So you want to first read how to explicate a poem resource, because we're looking at it a little differently than we did in Module 7 with the variety of poems that we read. So you want to make sure that you're going through that so you'll be able to talk about those items in your written response. Also, I want to make sure that when you are choosing one of these choices for the Think and Ink, that you are only using the selected poems that are in this course. This is the number one thing that students will miss in this module. They will want to write about any of the Langston Hughes poems. It's not that we don't like any of those poems, but the assignment is specifically about the ones that are in our course. So please make sure you're doing that. So if you're following what's in the course, it isn't a problem. It's usually when students are over on another tab trying to use Google to answer the questions when everything you need is already in this course. So that's the number one issue that I see with this module, are students picking a Langston Hughes poem, because he did write so many and so many wonderful ones, but we are narrowing our focus, and that's what you should be writing about for this assignment. If you choose to write about the second one, you want to make sure that you are using the Authentic Servant Leadership resource from week 2. Those are the tenets of leadership that we are talking about, not the ones that you will find on Google. So that will be another thing that you want to avoid. So you've already received feedback from the other modules about, the components of these Think and Ink responses. They are 250 words in length. They are not super formal, but it should be formal enough, as if we were sitting together and talking about these things. But you are also going to be, if you use anything from the poems, you're going to use MLA formatting and a works cited entry. All right, so the very last thing, is the final exam. It is 100 points. You do have a time limit on that. That is 90 minutes. And also, please make sure, you are ready to go when you're taking this exam. You have a clear space to work, that all your internet, everything is ready to go. And also make sure that you're doing it well before the due date, because if you start it less than 90 minutes before the course ends, then you won't be able to have that full 90 minutes. For example, if the course ends at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday and you don't start it till 8:30, then you will only have 30 minutes to do that. So make sure you take it in plenty of time. You have plenty of time once all of the written assignments are due for the course to be able to take this final exam. You want to take it on time so that you get your full amount. And before you take your exam, you want to go back and read through some of the text and some of those supportive documents to help you do your best. So it has been my pleasure to work with you during this term. And if you have any questions about the end of the course, please reach out. And I wish you the very best in the rest of your college journey here at Georgia Military College.